Good morning. Good morning. Naturally Caffeinated Dale here. Today is Friday. Today's the 9th of April, 2021. And this is your very special positive quote of the day. We're going to continue the theme of doing kind things. We had a quote yesterday from Oscar Wilde. It was about forgiving your enemies, and that's one of the most annoying things you can do, and it really frustrates them and will tend to ease the pain. But the quote today is specifically from a guy named Martin Luther King Jr. And this is one of the gentlemen in the U.S. history's past that did the most for bringing people together and to help with the concept of peace. Martin Luther King Jr. was an African American Baptist minister and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in the American civil rights movement from 1955 all the way until his assassination in 1968. Here's what he had to say. It's a little longer, so I'm going to read from a book today. He said this. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And if you think about what he's saying there, when you talk about how you retaliate, a lot of times when something negative comes at you, it is very automatic and it's an easy, natural response to respond with something negative. We get very defensive. We get very protective of our self, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe our pride, and that pride can be very damaged. And in order to protect our pride, we come up with these natural ways of defending ourselves. And in doing that, when somebody says something negative or hateful to us, it's very easy to respond back with some equally negative, hateful, angry, negative things. That being said, what Martin Luther King Jr. is saying here is that when you have darkness, it can't drive out darkness. You need light to do that. And equally, or similarly, hate cannot drive out hate. Only kindness and love can do that. So just think about the next opportunity you have to respond with something uber negative, something that's very hateful, very negative, very painful that comes at you. Find a way to kind of diffuse that and then reflect something that is caring and kind and loving back at that person or that situation. And it's a very different way to handle things. I know it's not natural. It may feel like a struggle. That might be something hard that you deal with. But when something negative comes at you, when you're able to have enough confidence in yourself to be able to say, hey, you know what? I'm not really going to let that bother me. I'm going to reflect that with some kindness and some love based on what that person says or what that situation is doing to me. The way that you handle it is very different. It's much more positive. It's much more balancing for your life. And if you don't allow that negativity, that hate, that pain to bring you down, by you rising above it and coming back with something that's loving and caring and kind, you have overcome that situation in a very unique way. I want to thank you so much for watching the channel. Please tell your friends about the channel. Please like, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.